Hi, I'm Neil Christensen, author of Dark White and Malcolm Karma Cold Turkey, and you're watching another sporadic episode of I'm Reading House of Leaves, so you don't have to. Today we're covering Chapter 15. Karen is finding a new purpose in her life in the editing of the film. She's piecing together the mystery of the house as Will captured it and also discovering a side to her husband she had previously overlooked. In the beginning of the chapter, we see her sitting on a park bench in New York, talking to the camera about what she'd been doing. It's been 4 months since we escaped from our house. It's also been 4 months since I've seen Navi. We used to talk on the phone, but now even that's stopped. This whole experience has changed him. Losing Tom, I think, changed him the most. I'm up here looking after his film. He did some work on it, but then he just stopped and shipped me all of it. The negatives, the tapes, the whole mess. There was so much of it, I decided to cut it down to 13 minutes. An 8-minute version of Karen's abridgment became the second short, now known as Exploration Number 4. Karen then goes on to say that she solicited feedback from everyone she knew to determine the quality and credibility of the film as she compiled it. I showed it to everyone I could think of, too. Professors, scientists, my therapist, village poets, even some of the famous people Navi knew. Anne Rice, Stephen King, David Copperfield, and Stanley Kubrick actually responded to unsolicited copies of the videos I sent them. Responses from men she sent the footage to seemed to be nothing more than a ploy to try and gain proximity to Karen, presumably for sexual reasons. After the transcript of responses, Johnny talks a bit about his decline. His slip into obsession is represented here by the anecdote that Thumper called him and invited him over to her place. Johnny, who previously would have dropped anything to spend 5 minutes with her, now finds that the invitation holds no appeal. It's too late. Or maybe that's wrong. Maybe not too late. Maybe it's just not right. Beautiful as her voice is, it's just not strong enough to draw me from this course. Where 8 months ago, I'd have already been out the door, today, for whatever reason, Thumper no longer has any influence over me. During the phone call, he does seem to have a change of heart and finds he wants to know Thumper on a deeper level, not just physical, but emotionally, and tries to summon the will to accept her offer when the phone goes dead. He notes that she didn't hang up on him. The phone company had just caught up with their oversight and finally disconnected my line. Back in the manuscript, we're back on the bench with Karen. For all the horrors of the house, the thing that she has come to realize was its worst offense was its effect on her marriage and what it did to her husband. That wicked place stole from me, she says. Will's absence forces her to re-examine him from a different angle. She begins to see him for his work, for his eye, for what is really important to him artistically. Out of the thousands of pictures Navidson took, there does not exist a single frame without a person in it. People mattered the most to him. Whether soldiers, lepers, medics, or newlyweds eating dinner at a trattoria in Rome. Navidson religiously studied others. This new understanding of her husband compels Karen to title her work, A Brief History of Who I Love. The final frame of her film focuses on a famous, supposedly Pulitzer Prize-winning photograph Will took, saying it came from his personal collection. Not only does Karen spend 20 seconds on this picture, she then cuts to a 10-second shot of the back of the print. Without saying a word, she zooms in tighter and tighter on the lower right-hand corner until her subject finally becomes clear. There, almost lost amid so much white, lie 6 faintly penciled-in block letters, cradled in quotes, Delisle. This, of course, refers to the mysterious woman in Will's life, whom many suspect was his lost love and soulmate. The chapter ends with a paragraph that, for once, actually sums up the theme of the chapter concisely and accurately. By following her heart, Karen made sense of what that place was not. She also discovered what she needed more than anything else. She stopped seeing Fowler, cut off questionable liaisons with other suitors, and while her mother talked of breaking up, selling the house, and settlements, Karen began to prepare herself for reconciliation. Of course, she had no idea what that would entail, or how far she would have to go. Chapter 15, it was one of those chapters that was deeply frustrating because there was very little story hidden in a lot of nonsense. House of Leaves very frequently feels like a high school math word problem where they give you like a paragraph with all sorts of data, and then you have to sort through that and figure out what's important so that you can actually do the equation. There's a lot of that in House of Leaves where it's just superfluous information that you have to trudge through because you never know where an important piece of information might be hidden. But the pages and pages of transcripts of what famous people thought of the film that she sent them, it was just tedious and not important to the overall, development of the story. If they're trying to show us that, Karen and Will knew famous people, you've already told us that. So I'm not sure what the value in that was, other than, he likes to hide information, and it does give you the sense of distress. I mean, this is a distressing book, and it gives you a sense of distress to be reading all this nonsense. That being said, I feel like, we did get a strong piece of character development from Karen. And the one thing that this book actually does really well is character development. It's hidden. It's hard to find. It's peppered very sporadically and loosely through the text, but you do get to see the characters change, and that is satisfying. So yeah, that's basically all chapter 15 did was basically say, hey, Karen's now editing the film. She's rediscovering a new side of her husband that she never knew was there. And it's making her fall in love with him again. Like she doesn't want to lose him. Instead of being like, well, the house destroyed us. Navi's gone. I'm here in New York with the kids. I guess we're not a couple anymore. Karen's kind of reaffirmed herself that she wants to make it work. So I guess we'll find out next time when we read chapter 16. In the meantime, if you are liking these summations, these snippets, these analysis of House of Leaves, go ahead and support me by subscribing to the channel, giving a thumbs up, or buying my books. Dark White and Malcolm Karma Cold Turkey are both noir thrillers set in the corrupt underbelly of Chicago, and if they're not the same genre as House of Leaves, but I'll tell you what, I think they're the same kind of ambiance. So if you like House of Leaves, maybe give them a check out. And thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon on another sporadic episode of I'm Reading House of Leaves, so you don't have to.